we're going to be taking the game into the near future. And for me, and for working at Treyarch, initially having worked on 3 World War II games, when we did the first Black Ops game, we actually got the opportunity to set it in a different time period, which was during the Cold War. And that opened up so many different avenues that we could go down for a really engaging story, new environments, new types of weapons. The whole thing was just blown open for us. That was exciting. This time round, we're going into the near future. And it's going to enable us to do things that we've never been able to do before. It's going to enable us to give a different type of gameplay experience that the player has never experienced in Call of Duty. And we are very, very excited about that. Sure, the way we're approaching the near future stuff, we work with a very broad range of consultants. One thing that's always been important for us working on Call of Duty is authenticity. Just because we're going into the near future, we don't want to compromise that. All the stuff we've been working on, we've actually consulted with a gentleman called Peter Singer, who's a senior fellow at the Brookings Institute. And his specific job is to figure out for our government what is going to be happening in the next 10, 20 years. So he's the guy who's immersed in all the things that are getting prototyped right now. He knows the technology, he knows the geopolitical circumstances of the world and everything that's going on. And we are working with him to figure out what this stuff is really going to look like. So what you're going to see in the game is technologies that are being prototyped right now, but taken to the next level, giving you types of experiences which you never have seen before, weapons of a power that you may never have seen before. When you actually hear Peter talking about it, and you see how excited he gets, and he tells you about how he's talking to, government officials about this, he's talking to world leaders of other countries, he's talking to people all over the world about what's going to be happening in the next 10, 20 years. And it's an amazing experience to be a part of it and actually see elements of our story, which were being incorporated because of Peter's work, actually evolve around us, seeing it on the TV, seeing it in the game, and then I know we've got an authentic experience. So on Call of Duty Black Ops, I got the opportunity to work with David Goyer, who actually wrote Batman Begins, Batman the Dark Knight, and is currently writing the latest Superman movie. And I got the opportunity to work with him as a consultant on that game. An amazing creative experience. He's so smart, he's so humble, comes up with amazing ideas, and one of the best collaborations I've actually ever been involved with. As a result of that experience, I knew I had to work with him to make the story of Black Ops 2. And David has been very excited from the start about working on Call of Duty and working with Treyarch, and he was all for that. So we have actually created the story for Black Ops 2. Myself and David have created it right from the start. And that has opened up more potential than we've ever had on a Call of Duty story before. And to me, it's one of the most exciting things about the project, to have somebody of his caliber and experience actually creating our story. It's pretty amazing. And in terms of the structure and complexity of what we're doing with the alternate story outcomes, where you as the player are the story. You choose how it's going to go. You choose who's going to live and die by your actions, and you ultimately will succeed or fail at your overall mission for the game. That wouldn't be possible without David's involvement, because he can hold this vision in his head. He's smart enough to process all this stuff, figure out all the alternate things that are going on, and come up with plausible ideas about why the choices that the player makes are actually meaningful, whether that's actually a moral choice or a choice to do with the mission, because choices and alternate paths in stories are all very well, but it has to mean something. And David has been very, very useful and actually integral in making sure that we do that.